In this video, we'll do a quick overview of the false equivalence fallacy and then jump into an example committed during the BIll Nye versus Ken Ham debate. A false equivalence is describing a situation where there is a logical and apparent equivalence, but when in fact there is none. This fallacy is most often used to draw a link between two topics in order to devalue someone's argument or add strength to your own. For example, a Daewoo Matiz and a Lamborghini both have four wheels, therefore they should be sold at the same price. This clearly doesn't make sense because there are other mitigating factors. Let's take a look at the section of the BIll Nye versus Ken Ham debate where Ken Ham discusses interpreting evidence in regards to history of the Earth and evolution. It is important to understand Ken Ham is arguing for young Earth creationism in this debate.
Now, here's another important fact. Creationists and evolutionists all have the same evidence. BIll Nye and I have the same Grand Canyon. We don't disagree on that. We will have the same fish fossil. This is one from the Creation Museum. The same dinosaur skeletons, the same animals, the same humans, the same DNA, the same radioactive decay elements that we see. We have the same universe. Actually, we all have the same evidences. It's not the evidences that are different. It's a battle over the same evidence in regard to how we interpret the past. And you know why that is? Because it's really a battle over worldviews and starting points. It's a battle over philosophical worldviews and starting points, but the same evidence. Now, I admit my starting point is that God is the ultimate authority. But if someone doesn't accept that, then man has to be the ultimate authority. And that's really the difference when it comes down to it.
In this section of the debate, Ken Ham makes an argument for the rationale behind creationism by suggesting that the evidence available to both creationism and evolution is the same. However, only the interpretation of evidence is different. One interpretation being a collective decision reached by a scientific community, and the other an interpretation by Ken and others within the creationist community. Ken asserts each of these positions as though they have equal merit, and that the interpretation of evidence for or against evolution can be made by either party. However, not all points of view are relevant in regard to factual statements. Similar to public opinion on climate change, the specific opinion of a person or group has no relevance to the factual nature of something. In this case, Ken is making a claim derived from the Bible, which is an unverified document, and comparing it to a scientific consensus derived from an investigative and highly scrutinized method of observation. In regard to statements of fact, these two methods of inquiry cannot be held to the same standards. Although, as Ken mentions, the evidence is the same for both parties, the value of interpretation is not. While scientists who believe in creationism may be able to argue on equal grounds using scientific methodology, they are unable to do so using the Bible as a starting point, as Ken Ham suggests, and still remain on equal grounds. By attempting to compare both interpretations side by side as alternate perspectives to one another, Ken has committed a false equivalence fallacy.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for weekly videos and be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video.